Hello, hello, hello. We are black by popular demand. Nah, we're back. We're back. Happy Black History Month. um, so today we are joined by Luke Samuels. Once he's up, I will get him invited and hopefully we'll give you a good show. It'll be short but sweet, but we'll get there. Oh, thank you for the comment. My friend did it. I'll tag her in this. She did really well. Thank you. It's late. Look, Samuel's just joining. I've just added him to it. Hope you guys are well. And let me know in the comments if you've been celebrating Black History Month and how you guys have been doing it. It'd be nice to hear from you at home. Hi.
Hello, how you
There
doing?
you are. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Good, thank you.
Good, good, good. First of all, happy Black History Month.
Happy Black.
Yeah. We made it. We made it. I literally started
Yeah,
this off and I was like, I'm black by popular demand, guys. Like,
just gonna turn this up a little bit. That's it. There we go.
you got
Can
it.
hear it now.
Get your angles in. You've got some good lighting in there.
Yeah, I've got the ring behind me, so it's giving a good light off. So
Oh, you got patterned up. I literally lent my ring to someone and I'm like, how do I function? Like, I don't know what to do without it. I miss that good lighting, but I've got like my lamp kind of angled in a good way. So
so
hopefully we'll get there.
you might hear my puppy making some noises. She's here, so I'll just show her. She might want to.
That's fine. Let everyone see.
As long as she behaves, then there we go.
There we go. Everyone meet Rhea. She's so sweet. She's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cute.
It's getting better
Right,
now,
well,
bigger. So
that's good. At least she's like out of the puppy stage and like she's not
yeah,
so
yeah.
intense. Well, perfect. We'll get into it. Introduce yourself to everyone
Yeah.
watching at home.
All right, my name's Luke Samuels, and I am a senior support worker, and I work with people with autism. So it's adults. I've been doing that for around about 6 months now, but before that, I was a support worker for homeless youth. So I've done
Hmm.
that for about 3 years. Before that, I was doing some studying in counselling. So these sort of things have helped me with my job.
Hmm.
Listening to people and just helping people. That's what I like to do. So
Did you study at Stevenson doing counselling?
with who?
Did you study at Stevenson College doing the counselling?
No, it was Sight Hill.
Like, oh yeah, that's old Stevenson. I still call it by its old names. But yeah,
Oh,
I'm sure one of my friends is on your course.
who was it? Me, maybe.
Karen.
Yeah, Karen. Hi,
Yeah.
Karen.
Hi, that's my girl.
Yeah, Karen. Yeah. I know Karen. She's lovely.
Yeah, we went to school together.
Yeah, she's lovely. Yeah, that's good.
She is. She's jokes. She's actually hilarious. But yeah, so you do support work. How are you finding that? Like, how long have you been in that industry for?
Um, I've been doing that now for about. Well, I was doing the homeless support work for about 3 years before I was doing this. Uh,
Hmm.
I mean, this is completely different to working with homeless youth. It's more, it's both got its different challenges, but
Yeah.
it's completely different working with people with autism. But one of the reasons why I wanted to do it was because my eldest son Malachi,
Hmm.
he's got autism.
Okay.
I've always, I've got experience. He's 10 years old, so I've had that experience.
Mm.
But I just, as he was getting older, I wanted to do something that's gonna, I can get the skills in to maybe help him.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a cure for it, obviously,
Yeah.
but there's ways that we can help people living
good.
with autism, and just it's kind of like coping mechanisms.
And to be fair, like people with autism, I think there's a stigma around it that they think that they're not going to live a fruitful life, but most people do, and they have like a best life. So
I think some people might see it as a disability, but I see it as an ability. There's some really good. Like, I mean, my son, he's really intelligent, and he gets on great. He does really well. So
yeah, that's good. Well, before we get into your activism side of things, like your other day job, we'll call it. What is your heritage, so the people at home know where you're from?
Okay. I've actually recently just done my DNA test with MyHeritage. So before that, I knew I was aware. Like my dad's side's Jamaican and my mum's side's Scottish. So I'll just show you my T-shirt that I put on for tonight.
Scottish going with Jamaican roots. Yes.
Okay, so obviously I knew of this anyway because of my parents. But my granddad, he came on the Windrush. He was like the first influx of Caribbeans to come over in 1948. So I knew that, but then obviously knew it was African because Jamaica originates from Africa. So for a long time I thought, well, it's going to be the west coast of Africa, but I wasn't entirely sure. We thought Nigeria, Ghana. So recently, I think it was about a few weeks ago, I got my DNA test back saying we've got Nigerian, Sierra Leonean, and West African. It doesn't give a specific with the West African, and some North African as well. There's also a bit of Scandinavian, Irish, Welsh, and Middle East. So quite a mix really.
Let's see, everywhere. Everywhere they have you.
Yeah.
That's a good mix.
It was only European, I think it was like 58% European. But it's really interesting. My sister done one and it shows with even with siblings it can differ.
Yeah.
She had some Kenyan as well, but it's interesting. If you read up on it, it gives you like all the kind of information.
See, I always want to do one that, even though my parents are from the same country and I was born in that country, but I'm always like, because of it being Africa, I'm like, I want to know the truth.
That's it. That's
and like where it goes down to.
Well, what you'll find is even like Scottish people, some have got Irish or they've got a bit of Scandinavian or whatever. But imagine if you were to do that within Africa, where there's a lot of traveling going around that time as well. So you just. I'd recommend it because it's really interesting. I got a lot from it.
See, part of me wants to do it, but part of me is like, you hear the conspiracy theories about the DNA they take, and I'm like, don't want to. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So I'll just leave it. So what have you been doing lately? Because obviously a lot of people on this might recognise you from the St Andrew Square protest, or they might recognise you from the TV show that was on last week, the Scotland Statues in Slavery. But yeah, I was on it as well. I always feel like I hate talking about myself doing things. I'm like, let's just do you. But yeah, we were both on it. Big ups. But yeah, so what else have you been doing in the form of your activism stuff?
Yeah, so like you were saying there, I well, first of all, I went to the Holyrood protest. I went there, I was working. I didn't get to see it all, but while I was there, and I got back and I was like, I need to do something. And it was more around the Dundas statue. So I thought, right. Initially, I was like, in my mind, I was like, I'm going to Dundas statue. I'm going to stand with a sign myself and go, And I thought, nah. So I got in contact with Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia, if you're watching. Joseph. And, I spoke to quite a few other people, actually. And they said, we'll back you up. We've done this one. The last protest, and they said, well, what we need to do is we spoke about it, we need to make sure there was enough time, like a 2-week period. So we took all that into account. We contacted the police, we're in touch with Edinburgh Trams, all the transport and everything, just so we're doing it properly. Obviously there's a police presence there as well. So I done the Justice for Slaves protest, BLM, and that was all around Dundas and the reasons why we didn't want him. Well, a lot of people don't want that statue in Edinburgh. They want it to be taken down. But one of the ideas we thought of was we can maybe take it down and put it in a museum. you know, a lot of people saying, well, keep it up. You know, I know Jeff had said that. I mean, well done, Jeff. Jeff was amazing on the documentary. Excellent. But I spoke with people and we're saying like we could have the statue and put it in a museum, but put it in a temporary museum until there's a slavery museum built for Scotland. Yeah, so we've done that protest. Also, I set up a petition saying let's rename Dundas Street to Emancipation Street. Now, I thought Emancipation Street was like a fitting name. You know, emancipation means freedom. So, I mean, that petition's still ongoing. We're speaking to Adam McVeigh, he's a councillor in Edinburgh. So we're going to in talks with him just now, but obviously with COVID and everything, meeting up, and that's our plans. We want to meet up with him, and I know there's a few other people from BLM want to be present there as well and just give their opinions and voice, you know, what they want to say about it. Yeah. So there's that. Like I say, that's still ongoing. I'm trying to think what else it was. Also, there was the documentary was in, and there was a competition I entered, and it was my story about my life and my history and my roots and stuff. And it was a competition it was the whole of the UK, and my story got picked out of 40 stories in the UK. And it's going to be in a book for Black History Month. Now, I think they're running a bit behind with that, but hopefully it's going to be out by the end of the month.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
That's so good, though. That's amazing you got picked out for that. And I think that's the biggest thing of what we're trying to say to people is that we need to keep telling our stories. We need to keep having our voices heard and keep. It is awkward for the counterparts. Yes, it might be awkward, but I don't think what they are actually thinking about is why does it make you feel awkward hearing that? Why do you feel like you need to be protected from hearing it because no one protected us from having to go through it? So,
I mean, with my whole like identity thing, when I was growing up, when I came from a small town. I've been in Edinburgh 6 years now, so I moved from Dumfries. And Dumfries, I don't know if you know it, but it's tiny. I mean, it's a lovely place. I mean, there's not many mixed people either. You know, we've always got like Africans, Chinese, stuff like that. But growing up, we moved from England in 1989. I was only young, you know. And going to school, I mean, with racism, people didn't really know what I was. I mean, I didn't really know myself. Like, you know, a lot of things around my identity, culture and stuff. But growing up, people were like, "Oh, you're this, you're that." A lot of people would tell me what I was because they didn't know, you know. So it's been that sort of thing. It's kind of been difficult, but now I think one of the best things is to learn about your roots and your culture and kind of learn more. See, if you do that, I think I found it more about myself, and it's given me identity. I know who I am now, whereas before I wasn't kind of sure. So yeah, I think
that's the one thing that I always. It's not so much that you sympathize because it's not sympathy, but it's one thing that I try and understand when it comes to mixed race people because I've got a mixed race dad. So I'm like, he's gonna get to the point where he's gonna question who he is, and I have mixed race friends that have questioned like, do I follow one side more than the other, or why can't I just be naturally mixed race and be myself?
I think that's the thing. But I think if personally, I've immersed myself in my cultures, both of them, my Scottish side and my Jamaican, African side. And every day I'm learning more about different things. I'm doing more research and it's even like telling my kids as well, telling them. I mean, I think one of my boys at school told someone he was Jamaican, and he said they just laughed at him because you know he's lighter than me, straight hair and stuff. But just, you know, and he's proud. He's like, I'm Jamaican. And he says I'm the fan. I'll win on sports day and stuff. He says it's because I'm Jamaican, and people are like. So yeah, I think it's just educating, especially, you know, like you say, like your son. It's just letting him know about his history and his culture. It's important.
I think he's at a point now. He kind of knows, and he'll question me, like, because his dad's white, obviously. He'll be like, "You guys are different," and like we'll kind of both like have conversations and like talk to him. But like even now, he differentiates his family members by race, And it's
Yeah.
one of those things that he's starting to recognize. So, like, if he's with my parents, he's like, yeah, I'm going to my black nana and granddad's this weekend. And I'm like, okay. Or like, he'll say
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah.
And, like, even just sometimes when he's in the, like, in the street, he's very, very aware. And, like, now he's starting to notice Asian people more because he's like, Mummy, well, what are they? And what race are they? And where do they come from and stuff? So it's good that he's starting to open those conversations at a young age as well. So I'm
Definitely.
trying. I'm trying. So yeah, what I wanted to ask you about basically was Black History Month and the things that kind of led up to this year's Black History Month. And one thing I want to ask so the viewers can understand is, what does Black History Month mean to you?
Yeah, okay. So Black History Month, what it means to me is it's a time I can celebrate my culture, my history, and my roots, and I can learn more. I can share it with other people. I think it's good. We've got, especially now, we've got that platform, especially all like the media coverage at the moment.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's been some unfortunate events that have unfolded. But I think that's maybe given us a platform now to kind of push that a bit more. But I think, you know, it doesn't matter what. Black History Month, Black Lives Matter. You don't have to be black to enjoy. You know, anyone can enjoy that. Because I've had a few people saying like, "Oh, you're more white than you are black. Why are you bothered about it?" It's like, excuse me. You know, it doesn't. It's not about color. It is to a certain extent, but other people can get involved in it as well. It doesn't mean because you're white, you've got nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. You know.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that a lot of allies or other people in the community might be confused about. That is that, can they join the same way we're doing it? Can they do whatever? And I'm like, yes. When it comes to Black History Month, you guys can celebrate it, even in the sense of if your child has a black friend. Open those conversations. Like, you don't have to make it so in their face with a black friend, like when they're around, like, oh yeah, we celebrate this, da da da. But speak to your child and say, do you know this is what's going on in their lives? Do you know whatever, da 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 da, and things like that. Like,
it's having that conversation. It's teaching them. That way, I think, especially from an early age, it's like we're talking about, like even like teach colonial history, all these sort of things in school, everything.
Yeah.
It's important as well to teach the history, not just about slavery. It's the stuff past, like before slavery. Africa, a rich history before that, without, you know.
Because it's one thing that I don't think people understand is that as the diaspora, like kids of the diaspora, we went home to totally second education. So we would go to school between like 9 and 3, but you go home and you have another book, and your mum or your dad would sit you down and be like, okay, this is what's happening in Africa. This is the history of it. This is whatever. Because they knew you weren't getting it.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't have to fall on our parents to do that. It shouldn't, even us as parents now, we shouldn't have to go and teach our kids anything that the school's missing out. So I think that should.
I know it's something that's being addressed now. And I think, I mean, it's the likes of us people as well. We're doing a lot, and we are. And, you know, I want to thank everyone for every single, you know, bit of work they've put in. Everyone's doing a great job, so I just keep it up. And
that's it, doing the good Lord's work. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
What do you think is different about this year's Black History Month?
Good question. That was kind of what I said earlier. We've got more of a platform now. The whole, like, you know, like before, it's like it's Black History Month. It's just another, but there's a lot more, like I say, media coverage over it. So that's given us, like I say, the platform then to push more information out to people. So I think that's probably one of the biggest, biggest changes in this year's Black History Month, definitely.
Yeah. I think that's the thing, that a lot more people, after the events of this year, that gave them more time to focus on it. A lot more people are kind of like, oh, so what is it and why is it in October? What does that represent and things? And I think what a lot of people think it's an American thing, and they just, as soon as you hear Black History Month, you go to America. But the biggest thing that I've had to teach people this year, like, or I've like even taught my peers, is that we have October, they have February. We have two different sides to it, and there's two different whatevers. Whereas in America, they're getting taught that, and in October, they'll celebrate UK Black history, and they'll learn about it and things like that. But we just get American, and that's it. And it's such an Americanized version.
I think as well, like, after this year, I think there is Black History. I think we should celebrate it all the time. We should be proud, and we do. but we should voice that more, and we should celebrate it all year round.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Um, so what have you been up to in 2020? Well, you've told us pretty much with regards to the movement, what you've been doing, your activism sites and stuff like that. But other than that, what else have you been up
Not
to?
that. There's a few things. There's a lot of like things with Jamaica I'm trying to sort out at the moment. I need to actually apply for my new passport, Jamaican passport. I've got it here actually. It runs out in a year, so in order to travel, I think you need 6 months traveling it or something. So, sorting out things for that, sorting out Jamaican bank accounts, because when I know retirement's a while off, but that's my kind of goal, to buy somewhere in Jamaica and live out there when I retire. So
That's a sweet life.
Bank accounts. It's not too much involved in it, but it's just getting all the paperwork in and thing. So I've been doing a bit of that.
Yeah. And do you think that how have the events of 2020 shaped you as a Black person? Like how, or as a mixed race person, how has this year kind of changed your mentality, your ideology of the world?
I think it's made me think more, like not just to stop there and just say that's I'm just going to stop there. It's to keep pushing and keep going, because if we keep the momentum going, I think we can make more of an impact and more difference to Black people's lives, Black, brown, and just everyone's life, and like say education, like you say, allies, everything like that. We just need to keep pushing and keep educating people.
Yeah. And that's why these conversations, I think, are important, and I like having them to get different perspectives. And it's quite nice to see what the viewers say as well at the back, like, because I feel like from just hearing it from our side or our perspective, it kind of helps their understanding.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, to share our thoughts, and I think having these open conversations as well with people, and with people from all different cultures, and I think that's really important. If we immerse ourselves in different cultures, I think we've got more of an understanding of each other. Definitely.
Because like my sister said something the other day, and I think what was it she said? She said diversity to her feels like truth, and when she said that, I was literally like, yeah, that makes sense. And just being able to be in those different communities, but bring them together and having such a diverse range, it is the truth of what society is.
And Bob Marley was, he's great. And the stuff he was coming out with so many years ago, it's relevant to this day. And I just think, that sort of mentality is, we can get far with that.
Yeah. I'm going to ask the public if they want any little quick questions answered, they can drop them in now. But quickly, while they're just putting their questions in, have you got any final words of wisdom that you would like to share with the public for the final week of Black History Month?
Yeah. Just to, I think, try your best to immerse yourself in other cultures, like I mentioned earlier. Be true to yourself, and don't be afraid to be who you want to be, as long as you're not hurting anyone and there's no malice intended. I think be proud of who you are, be proud of the skin you're in, and just embrace who you are, embrace your culture.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for your time and answering. Everyone's gone shy and gone quiet, so there's no questions. But they've given lovely comments. I'll read a couple out before we go.
I just want to say thanks for inviting me on here as well. It's good. It's great.
Oh, it's all right. I literally was like, I know you've been doing little bits in the community and you've been doing so well.
But when you said it at night, I was like, that's my bedtime. I was like, I was sitting there, I was sitting on the TV watching, I think it was something to do with Donald Trump, and it was like all these tweets and things, and I was like, oh man, this is ridiculous. But that's another story. We'll not even go into that.
We'll get there one day. So someone's put in the comment, it's Daria Triba. She has said, lovely segment, so much to learn from real people, keep it going. My phone said go to bed. And then we have someone said, Yasmin, that was quite a nice comment. She said, you're inspirational. like yourself, my son is mixed race in Scotland, so happy there's much more awareness now. And yeah, there's just a few people waving and sending love hearts, so it's been nice so far. But if what I will do is I will let everyone know where they can reach you on socials and they can find you and ask you anything else. And
Yeah,
if there's
if
anything else you
anyone
want to say.
chat anytime, then don't be afraid. Just ask me anything.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing as well, that like within the community, that as much as we're doing our little work and whatever, I feel like it's quite good that anyone that comes on this platform, if you just want to ask a question, go and ask them. And even if it's just for a bit of advice and someone to talk to.
It's like a little family. I speak to a lot of the people that have done the protests and stuff, and it's just nice. You can just reach out to people.
Yeah, it is a little family we've developed here. It's quite nice.
But we're in the same boat as well. But you can invite other people in, and it's a safe place to talk about things if you need to. So
yeah, exactly what you said, guys. It's a safe place, and you can be safe here. Yeah. So I will leave it at that, and everyone enjoy your night.
All right. See you later. Thank you. Thanks again.
See you soon. Thank you so much, Luke. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.